They go back since bowl cuts. He's Dave. He's JR. Two grown men who can't get enough of each other. It's Hangin with Homie. Let's start the show.
Here we are, brother.
So
round 2, baby.
We're back, and I was really happy with what we've been able to put together already. Our strategy's working. You know, like I think I got like 6 or 7 clips from the first episode, and we've been wanting to put out more stuff in between because topic-based. Hey, some of you are very busy like us, and maybe you only have time for a 3-minute clip, and that's just how it goes. And eventually, I know you love us. You'll binge at your own leisure, and right now, the 3 minutes is all you can give us. But you mentioned something about it took you a minute to like find your headphones.
Yeah.
So I was in the gym, as I do.
Yeah.
And I go for my AirPods, and you know how it like opens and closes, like the little thing. It like you got to push it back. So I go to pull it out, and it tears off.
No.
So I don't have any extras, and so I've been having to rock one earbud all week, and it's so frustrating.
I just want stereo sound.
No, I'm gonna call you. No. So I have to like walk around pretending like I'm talking to someone when I'm just talking to myself.
Bro, I don't want to get like, I don't want to become a conspiracy theorist over here or nothing, but I've been hearing a lot of things about just how terrible AirPods are for you with all the radiation. Where do you land on that?
I know there's radiation, sure, but okay. The amount of radiation where I'm sitting right now.
Here we go.
All right, I've got how many lights, interior lights, an 86-inch TV, this computer. Everything is emitting some kind of pulse. These headphones, not as bad.
Yeah.
So, Elon Musk, he did, I think, some studies on it. And basically he went to like some of those sites where there was like an explosion or a leak or something like that. And it's like, look, I'm going to show you it's safe to go to these places.
Okay.
The amount of waves in those AirPods is like minute compared to something that could actually affect you. So you got to follow the money. Who is telling you this and why are they telling you this? I don't know. I don't know right now, but that will give you the answer as to why someone is bringing this up. And another thing, okay?
No, please, keep it coming, bro.
TikTok, all right?
Oh, look out.
The problem with it, I love it because I get to discover so much awesome music, people, topics. Like, I like it. The problem is nobody's a journalist and nobody like researches. So you or me could be like, there's a headline. I'm just going to run with it. I'm just going to trust that it's true and I'm going to repeat it. And if somebody has a following like you and then someone else sees it, well, JR said it must be true. It's on the internet. It must be true.
It must be true.
So this is happening over and over and over. And I would venture a guess that if you actually went through and fact-checked a lot of these TikTok videos, like everybody's a philosopher. If you went through, like, most of the things you hear are just actually not true. They're just said very confidently.
Right.
And so, because I remember before we did this podcast way back, you would be like, Dave, do you know about the Mandela effect? And I'm like, bro, just give it a rest. Relax. The Bernstein
don't get me
Bears.
Started right now,
the Bernstein Bears. I'm like, it's always been that. You're like, has it been?
No.
Yes, it's always been that way.
Bro, why are you trying to come at me, dog?
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is fun and it's exciting and some of it is true. Anyhow, we're talking about TikTok and that got me to thinking. Recently in my show prep, I saw that I think it's Universal Music Group recently came to terms again for their artists to be allowed back on TikTok. And my thought was, just in time for the app to be exiled from the United States, which you have to think. So here's the scenario for those of you who don't know. Basically, our president signed some sort of bill or whatever you want to call it, a treaty. I don't know. He put pen to paper is what he did. Yeah. And basically what's going to happen is if the Chinese developer of TikTok doesn't give all of the rights over to here in the States, then the app's going to be banned, which I don't foresee happening ever.
Yeah.
So for one,
Yeah,
I just want to come out and say TikTok was fun during the pandemic. The pandemic is over.
So long.
And it's time to move on. R.I.P. TikTok.
The next
Thanks.
platform. You heard it here first, JR.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? It's May 2024.
Yeah, I'm over it, man. It's, man, but you got to think TikTok did so much for people where all of a sudden overnight I got 100 million views on my account, and it's what? Oh, now all of a sudden I'm famous. It's like, are you though? All of a sudden I'm rich. I got all these followers. Yeah, well, can you put those followers in the bank? Can you put them in a safe?
Well, Dixie and Charlie D'Amelio, some people capitalized. It's a lot Vine. Like look at Logan and Jake Paul. Yep. Vine was there for a shorter period of time, and then TikTok said, "Oh, Vine, okay, we see you. Let's do it longer." So TikTok just lasted longer, and I am the biggest culprit of I know you've sent me tons of stuff because I have 200 messages in my TikTok. I haven't even looked at it.
Never. And a lot of it is me tagging you and stuff, bro.
Yeah, I know, and I never look at it because I just have made it a point. Like, I don't have time to look at TikTok.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Here's when I will. If you send me a link, this is how you know I'm 37. If you send me a link in my text, I will open it and watch the video. It's got to be curated. Listen, I'm a big deal, okay? I don't have time to look through all my TikTok messages. If you have my phone number and you have access to me, just send it direct.
Let me ask you this, and this question might be a little bit loaded just because of our age, right? In 10 years' time, do you foresee yourself looking back, watching old TikTok compilations like, oh my God, this was so funny, like we do with each other for Vine right now?
No. And
not a chance, right?
Because that app was perfectly designed for compilations. It was a highlight app. It's 6 seconds at a time.
Yep.
So you could make compilations, and I recently sent you the guy in the courtroom who said, "Girl, you thinking than a bowl of oatmeal?" And he's like, "Nice." And I've never seen the longer version of that.
It's so good.
Yeah. So no, I won't be watching compilations of TikToks. Not to say there's not talent on there. Just I've reached my limit on apps, my friend. I've hit the limit. I can't do any more.
I feel it, dude. And like, I'll look back on, TikTok mostly fondly just because of it being like a new, exciting, creative outlet, especially being on the air live 5-6 days a week while I was living in Nashville during the pandemic, still having to come into work and create stuff. It gave me that outlet to be able to do that. And I met a lot of pretty cool people, some of which I still keep in touch with now. So, all in all, at least I was able to get that out of it,
So we're putting TikTok to bed, folks. That was the goal of the opening. I didn't know we were going there, but had to be said.
Yeah, and you got to think, in some capacity, TikTok is giving off some type of radiation.
All right, dude. You save your conspiracy theories for the late night show. Conspiracies with Jeff.
Right. Yeah. But look, brother, we're here today to talk about surgery.
We're here to get physical.
That basically is what we're doing.
Yeah, like physical therapy.
Yeah,
at this age.
Right, which for me was a complete waste of time, but that's a story for another day.
You spent so much time jumping through hoops. This is what happens in the American medical healthcare field. You jump through all these hoops and check all these boxes just so you can show them, hey, I did all your BS. Can we do what I want to do? And finally they did. And I think you're better now, right?
No, I think I am. I think I'm like significantly better. It was very much like, we'll get into the actual operation here in a second, but since we're already talking post-op, there was a lot of like, I don't know if you've ever heard it described as this. It's almost like phantom pain, where my brain still thinks that I'm in pain from my back because it's been just nonstop for like 3.5 years. Hey there, hey, I'm still here.
Those nerve endings, very annoying.
Yeah. So there's still like a little bit of that, but it's not to the point where it can take my legs away from me like it has in the past. I've completely taken out coffee tables in my apartment because my legs just gave out.
Didn't work like they used to before?
Basically, yeah.
Dude, you got a little taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, that ain't right, bro. I'm hoping, and I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the whole thing. And if you want here, I can kind of rewind and
tell us how you even got here.
Yeah. So before even going in that day for the operation, which is something that I didn't think would actually happen, right? Because it's a newer procedure. It's called nerve ablation or intercept. I kept calling it nerve obliteration because it's kind of what they're doing, you know? He says, that's Mr. Ramsey. That's no, we're not obliterating anything.
Hey, look, what you do with your finishing move in wrestling is between you and the wrestlers.
Right. It was tough to even get the procedure approved because, like I said, it's a newer procedure, and there's only a handful of neurosurgeons here in Colorado that do it. Like, I think it's like maybe 3 or 4, you know? And after visiting with, I think I visited with 3 different neurosurgeons, I finally found one that I felt comfortable with. And it wasn't because of the way he spoke or the way he made me feel. He was just very matter of fact, very even keel, no emotion about anything ever. And I was like, okay, this is the person that I want cutting me open.
Yeah, you got the Belichick of surgery. Perfect.
Yeah, and then he's like, we're on to Cincinnati, you know? But yeah, going in there, so this day, it's technically like an outpatient procedure. So he tells me, look, you'll be good to roll in like 3 days, man, you know?
Roll?
And just... It's like, hopefully I'm walking out of here, Bob, you know, not rolling out like Drake from Degrassi. But, yeah, so I'm like, okay, let me just take 3 days off from work. I'm like, plus I'm going to be on pain meds, but I should be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Typical guy mentality. Yeah. That's how we are. Yeah, no big deal. Back surgery? Yeah, I'm good. 3 days. I got you.
No big deal. So I go in there that morning, and... For anybody that's ever had any kind of surgery before, this was my first one. So I was a little bit kind of on edge, right? Like, I've never been under before anesthesia. I've never experienced it. I've only seen it in the movies, right?
Right.
So you have all these different things that you can and can't do the night before and the morning of, and I'm following this stuff and yada, yada, yada. I get in there, and they're just finishing up the person before me. Granted, I don't remember anything about the procedure, of course, but I do remember this. I remember them setting me up for anesthesia. And I remember the first thing they pumped into me, whatever it was like ice cold.
Yeah.
And it felt so good.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is great. And then they wheel me into the room. And again, I'm in this gown, so my ass is out, bro. Right.
I'm an ass man.
Yeah. And they roll me in. They're like, all right, Mr. Ramsey, we're going to have you count back from 10. And I was like, wait a minute. And this is what I remember because I was already feeling it. I look at each of them. And there's like 4 of them in there in the room. I'm like, thank you guys for being so nice to me. Seriously, this is great. And they're like, yeah, of course, man. All right, count back from 10. And they put the thing back on my face. I'm like, 10.
That was it.
Done.
Bro,
yeah.
You got 1 counted out.
Yeah, bro. Again, I don't get much good sleep around here, so I was ready for it. And I wake up in the recovery room, and of course I'm like, I'm out of it. You know, it's instantaneously. It's so weird, man.
I've been through it a couple times. Yeah. You think, oh, this is going to, okay, will I make it to 1? Will I make the countdown? You don't even remember. Like, I'm surprised you remember counting 10.
Yeah. It was just instantaneous. It's not like a good night's sleep, right? There are certain tiers of sleep, your deep sleep, your REM sleep. No, this was just unconscious. I was out.
You fast forwarded. You jumped in a time machine, literally.
Zip. Done.
And
yeah, it was
like,
over.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I wake up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's Julia? You know, she decided to fly out and help me deal with all this stuff, which was great. She was really, really helpful. And I think it's because ultimately she wants something in return, but I'll leave that where it lays.
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody's got a price.
Everybody's got a price. And yeah, she sent me a couple of clips that I actually just texted to you.
Okay.
And I thought maybe it's only 2. Like there was a bunch, but I only sent you 2.
I'm gonna pull.
And I thought it would be an appropriate time just to give you a little snapshot into what my recovery was like immediately waking up. There's your boy.
Dude, I
right
see
there.
You. All right, I'm gonna try to put this close to the mic, and then what
Okay.
I'll do is I'll cut it in
Okay.
after.
How are you feeling?
I'm a little sore because of the procedure, but everyone's so nice to me here, and I don't know how I got, who brought me here, who brought me here,
Well, you're all done.
but I kept telling them to go get you.
You did? Did you miss me?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I'm
That's
here
sweet.
now.
Yeah. That is
I
like
just hope it
romance.
works good.
I just hope it works good.
Yeah. And again, dude, getting out, that was like one of the main things on my mind, and even going in, because with no surgery, is it guaranteed like 100% satisfaction?
Nothing. Nothing guaranteed in life.
Yeah. So I was like, golly, I just hope it works, because I exhausted every natural option possible
Dude.
for over 3 years. And yeah, there I was immediately recovering. Man, they gave me some water, which was like, I don't know, man. It was the best water I ever had. Seriously.
That's some
And
high
then they-
quality H2O.
Yeah. And then they gave me some saltines, bro. And you would have sworn they had just given me like a filet mignon or something. I just like crushed it. It was so good. I don't know what it was, dude.
I wish I was there to see that.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I want to talk to you about the recovery, but I want you to see just this next
Next
silly
one.
clip of me coming out.
Dude, you're doing the point. You just got out of the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, basically is what it looks like. Looks like I just got thrown through the cage. And they wheeled me out in a chair. I'm sure I could have walked, but they like made,
Dude, you had your Paul Pierce moment. You had to
Yeah.
take a wheelchair out of the game.
On this, so.
Yeah.
Dude, you look like you're like, I just want to walk. Come on.
Yeah. And then I had to like wait with this guy for her to go get the car.
The orderlies, bro.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking to him about.
Moving the leg. Dude, you're about to
Yeah.
sweet chin music right there.
Yeah, about to
Okay.
give him a little.
So it cuts, and then I'm guessing you get up on your own and walk in.
Yeah, I walked, I got into the car, I sat down. It was a little uncomfortable, but again, I'm still on all the pain meds at that time. So I'm not really feeling much. I'm just feeling out of it. And I get home and I kind of just began my road to like recovery. I couldn't really do much, but one of the things I wanted to make sure that I did was I kept moving. You have to move. You have to get up every hour and walk around, because if not, you can get blood clots, I guess they were saying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to make sure.
And I don't know if you ever had to do this for any procedures you might have had, but they made me wear these big compression socks.
No. But I guess that would make sense with like blood clots and blood flow
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And I just want to tell you, between us and our audience, that I still wear them sometimes because they're rather comfortable.
Come on, bro. That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Julia was so good. She cooked for me. She helped me get around, and obviously I was pretty stationary aside from when I would move around. But it wasn't until 3 days in I realized there's no way that you should put a live microphone in front of my face. I should not be at work, right?
Yeah.
So I sent an email, give me the week, I'll come back next week, everything will be fine, right?
Right.
The next week was the toughest part of this entire process. And it wasn't so much because it was tough physically, it was tough mentally, and it was something that kind of blindsided me because I didn't anticipate this happening. Of course, they give you all the different paperwork and all the things that could and might and maybe could, happen, and you don't read it. You're whatever. Let's just get this done. I got to get back to work here. And I'm noticing one random day, I think it was like a week and a half in. I'm just like, I'm in the car. I'm finally in my own car, driving. I'm like, wow, okay.
I'm in me mom's car. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, brum, brum, get out me car. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I get home from work, and I'm just uncontrollably crying nonstop.
I remember you texting me like, bro, what is happening?
Yeah, now, while I'm just like ugly, hyperventilating, crying like a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know in the back of my mind, I'm not sad or angry about anything.
It's like
why is this happening?
Involuntary reaction to something.
Yeah, well, after talking with the doctors back and forth, what I learned is that it was the anesthesia releasing itself from my body.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, it was trippy, dude. Like, you could have told me, like, you know, like you could have stepped on a bug and I would have cried. You know,
Dude.
like it was so bizarre.
Sensitive.
No, for real. And I remember calling her, the girlfriend, and you know, talk about a pain in the ass. Like, what is wrong with you? You know, like you're supposed to be doing better. But I'm an emotional guy anyway, so when there's anesthesia trying to release itself from your body, plus I'm coming off the pain meds too.
Right, so you're just getting fully back to a new reality.
Right, it was like detox was happening all at once.
Look out for detox, and you didn't look out, dude. It hit you.
Yeah, no, for real, it did. And yeah, I just remember finally settling down that night. And then the next day, everything was normal.
Just one wave and gone. So now you're pumping in the gym?
Yeah, dude. So I'm back in the gym. I've been going pretty hard these last 2 weeks, like 3-4 times a week. I have a new sleep routine. I'm waking up at like 8:30 each day, and I'm making myself go, making myself cook breakfast as well. I just started back up with my personal trainer because my goal is the heaviest I've been was almost 250.
Dude, what?
Which is a lot.
Dude, what are you, 6'3"?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So talk about even more added stress on my bones and my back and my joints, right?
Right.
But right now I'm about 240, 40-ish, right? My goal is to try to get down to 220 before I turn 38, you know?
Let's go. Dude, July's coming, baby.
Yeah, and I can already feel it, like, in my mind, just doing the work and just, like, really pushing myself because I don't have anything to slow me down anymore.
You eliminated the excuses.
Exactly. There's no longer any excuse, and I'm not going to make any up, right? I'm committed to it. I'm ready to roll, brother. I only had one setback, and I'm going to encourage, if you ever have to do something like this, and I pray that you don't, is don't get on a plane too soon after surgery.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way, brother. I took a trip to Phoenix, and I found a super cheap flight, so that it was like a last minute kind of thing.
Yeah, who'd you fly with?
Frontier.
All right.
Right? And it was my final frontier. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like sitting on just plywood for 2 hours.
That's fun.
2 hours there, 2 hours back. And then of course we're staying at the girlfriend's mom's house with a full house. Her sisters are there, her sister's husband and their kids and yada yada yada. And it's like, well, Jeff, you're gonna have to sleep on the floor or on the couch. And I'm trying to be tough. Whatever. I got
Sleep
this.
on the floor. I'm from Maine.
Whatever.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah. But then after spending a Saturday doing a toy hunt and then just spending the whole day walking, we went and did the Phoenix Museum of Illusions, which was super cool, by the way. And then we went to a thing called Medieval Times. And
Dude,
they got the horses and
so
you
much
eat with your
fun.
hand. Oh, it was so fun, dude. I loved it.
Had you never done that?
Never once, no.
Me and Ryan, my dad took us when we were like 11, 12, 13. Perfect age down in Orlando. Because he's like, what can I do that's not Disney? Because we could only do Disney a couple days. So I just remember, like, this is awesome. Everybody's eating with their hands. And when you're a kid, you're like, it's okay to do this. This is great.
Let's go. Yeah. And it was a whole theatric, and it was just fun, and the food was damn good, and we were there with my girlfriend's sister's kids, and they were into it, and
Nice.
And but by the time I got back that night, I was so inflamed that I couldn't stand up, I couldn't sit down. My demeanor changed. I was just miserable and trying to hide it as best I could, but I just couldn't anymore.
Tough around in-laws, right? You're like,
yeah.
And you know what? We do the man thing. Like, I'm good. I'm fine. Nope. Don't. No, I'm fine. Don't even. I'm good.
Right. You don't want to bring any attention to yourself. It's not about you, right? I was trying to be selfless when in actuality I should have said, "Hey, I need some help."
Yeah. Help. No, just
help. I need somebody. Help. All
right.
But dude, soon after getting back from that trip, changed up my shoes. I'm only wearing Chucks now with special soles.
Dude,
right?
Chucks, West Side.
Yeah, and I'm feeling good, brother. I truly feel like I finally turned that corner, and I'm now officially on the road to becoming myself again. And it feels so good to say that out loud.
Dude, great to hear. Huge W. Let's go. Because now I can hit you up like, how's the progress in the gym? Where you at? Because I know you're feeling like, I went through the same thing when I got out of the hospital. I was like, I can't make any progress, dude. I have no strength.
Right.
Can't do anything. And in your head, you're like, I've done this thing a million times. Why can't I do it? So I bet by now you're probably like adding weight, changing things up, like actually making some strides.
It's like, carefully doing this, and then that feels fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bump it. Let's bump it up. Let's bump it up. Okay, let's slow.
It's the mind over matter.
Exactly.
Now that you've gone through the motions enough, you know. I would imagine this is like athletes that have a knee injury or something. They plant and they're running fast. Like, okay, I can go fast. I'm going fast again.
Yeah, that's the way that I kind of thought about it too. Like, I know there was a Cowboys player, Michael Gallup, who tore out his knee and then finally healed back up and came back. But I was like, boy, does he seem just slow now? Like he couldn't make that cut. And then I learned through reading different books and stuff. It's like, it's all just up here in your mind. And I'm like, that sucks, dude.
You're able. Yeah, well, that's good. I have a ton of workouts to send you because I've just been hammering the reverse sled, the forward sled.
I want to give it a shot, yeah.
All things that at our age, it's like I need to get ahead of preserving these knees. And like now I look in the mirror and I have tons of muscle like on my lower quad, around the knee, below the knee. And dude, I have, no knee pain, no lower back pain like I used to because I don't know. The sled is magic, dude. I don't know what to say.
I need it.
Yeah.
I needs it.
I'm sure they got it at your cool gym.
Yeah.
So, hey, look, both of us are now back at 100% health. We've still made the show happen, even with both of us just being like up and down, and we're here.
Yeah. You know what I was strangely kind of afraid of at the gym was doing the row.
Yeah? Like the row machine?
The row machine, yeah, because I had to forward,
right,
and then with momentum lean back, and I was like, I don't know, am I gonna be okay doing that? And I was real nervous about it, but then I was like, Joe, crack the dawn, and I just started humming it, dude. Yeah, so
hey,
it's all up here, brother.
2000s in the club, man. It never goes away. You apply it to all phases of life. Sometimes you just gotta lean back.
Yeah. Sometimes that's it, bro.
Sometimes, these kids, man. I had trade night last night, and I had how eerily slow and quiet week. Yeah. So it's 10 minutes before trade night, and I'm like, it's empty. No one's in here. I'm talking to my manager Tim, and we're like, yeah, this is so strange. The weather's not bad, but where is everybody? This one kid comes in. All right, I've never seen this kid. He's cool. His mom's there. He just starts chatting up a storm, takes over a whole table, puts all his cards individually, covers the table with the cards.
Damn, dude, he was loaded.
Well, they were all base cards, but I was like, oh, these are cool. I don't want to tell kids, hey, dude, you got nothing. You got nothing.
Right. Yeah.
And then he had a couple.
That would be awful.
I know. He had a couple in his binder. And then he's like, "Where's Henry?" I'm like, "Who's Henry?" He's like, "Oh, he's my friend." I'm like, "Dude, you're 10. I don't know your friends." Like,
Yeah, I don't go to your school,
I don't
bruh.
go to school. I'm older, okay? He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, he sent me an invite." I was like, "Oh, he did now."
Oh, cool.
I'm like, "An invite?" He's like, "Yeah, he sent all his friends invites." I go, "That's interesting." I'm like, "This
Yeah.
kid's making up these unofficial invites to my trade night."
Bro, they got like event pages on Facebook.
Dude, they have an event page for my event page. It's like underground. These kids don't even have all
Dog,
that internet
what?
access, but
Man.
I was so this kid gets here. He's a big like Chiefs fan. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Oh, not much." I was like, "So, invites, huh?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Oh, you're sending out invites," and he's like, and he like just walked away.
Oh, come on.
And I asked his dad. He's like, "No, he sent them out." I was like, "No, it's cool. Like, I think it's
I
great."
love that.
I've never
Yeah.
had that happen before. Like, I didn't realize my like shop was popping like that. So, eventually, we have probably like 12 or 13 or 14 kids, and I'm like, "Okay, good." The word did get around, and this time we did pack battles. So
Okay, so how does that work exactly?
man, somebody brought in a box of like basketball packs, five card packs. So it cost me like $1 each, no big deal. And I said, all right, I'll donate like maybe it was like 50 or 60 packs. Probably didn't need that many. And then we did a bracket. So
Okay.
it's like the game of war. It's like you and me have cards, and in war, like the higher card wins.
Yeah.
So in this one though, we picked the low number. So you look on the back of the card. So you and me would open a pack, and whoever has the low number card would win all the cards.
Ah.
So we did a bracket. So each kid would face off. And I said, and the winner's going to get all the cards.
Okay, so with that many packs, how many cards was that total, you'd say?
Probably like 200.
Golly, bro.
And the last championship round, so I got down, these two brothers ended up being in the championship, and I got these 20 card hanger packs of baseball. They're like, "What, dude?" And so then the older brother won. But then, of course, I gave everybody like a 5-card pack because I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys came to the trade night. I'm going to give you
Right.
something.
You can't leave empty-handed.
The one kid got like everything, and then one of the kids in the 5-card pack got a yellow Wemby, like special Wemby. I was like, dude, nice.
Okay. Damn.
So they were really happy. I think, the whole point of like illustrating this story of trade night and kids having a good time is the word of mouth is spreading. They trade on the bus, dude. They trade at school. It's becoming like a nuisance though to some teachers. They email me.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, if you have trade night, that'd be awesome. Can you have more events so we can tell them like, hey, if you trade at school, you can't go to Double Play Dave's trade night."
Oh
And
no!
they're
You're gonna regulate, bro.
like, how does my teacher know? Because
Oh, my goodness.
because the parents be talking, and it's cool that I'm building this fan base, these like customers. It's really similar to how we would set up and do those schools. And,
Yeah.
you would have like kids, older middle school, like doing Happy Wheels up to high school, following you because they knew, oh, he's going to do Chem Free or he's going to do my school, or it's so similar to that.
Yeah, that kind of is eerily kind of like the parallels are so weird. It's obviously, I'm going in there to entertain, but I'm trying to build my brand at the same time. You're trying to supply a good product, but you want to build your brand at the same time. And
People
think
were
that's really
buying,
cool.
like
Oh,
there's
good.
supplies, packs, whatever, single cards. It's been a success. Once I can get some more official marketing going, it'll get.
Yeah.
I can only see it just getting bigger and bigger. Because without me doing really a lot, dude, these people are figuring it out. The community knows we're open. It's great.
Yeah.
It's really a blessing, and I can see it's kind of like the excellent thing that we get to do as a shop is have a place where kids can do an event that's not like being on a phone or an iPad or like they're interacting with their buddies. So
yeah, and it's in a safe place.
yeah. So once a month, trade nights at Double Play. We're gonna do Saturday nights. I think it's just a better night.
Right. I wonder if there's a way, to kind of take the teachers up on their offer. Like, okay, let me advertise in the, I don't know, Lincoln Middle School paper, or on like the, what other pieces of literature would there be? Like the the lunch menu or the school paper. I don't know.
Yeah, the PTA
right?
board meeting. I don't know. I
like,
thought about all those.
The students, don't forget trade night at Double Plate Collectibles is on Saturday the 14th. May the force be with you.
And also with you.
You know,
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I think some advertising like that is good. I'm always torn because I don't really need it because they talk so much about it, and it's I don't know, it was a lot though, dude. All those kids running around, I was like, man, I'm kind of glad I don't have kids because that took it out of me.
You need a nap after that.
I did want a nap, dude. Needed some Steve Weisers in the hockey game.
Yeah, dude.
Busy week.
That's so cool. Yeah. You know what's funny is you said Steve Weiser, and it made me think about our last episode, which by the way, I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. I can hear it because
Voice
before
is back.
you were sounding like Steve O drinking some Steve Weisers.
Dude, come on, Steve-O. You know what? You're right though. I was like, hey. I sound like John Laurinaitis.
It was something. Hey Vince, your biceps look so vascular. Do you need me to put some oil on them, boss?
Jeez, dude.
People power.
I sounded rough, but I had to push through that episode. I was ready, just my body wasn't ready.
Right. No, I hear you. And it was cool getting some feedback from it, you know. One of our listeners, Chris, was so pumped to have us back.
Good.
I had some other folks out here in Denver. Oh, dude, it's so glad to hear you guys back again and miss the show and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, we got a lot to talk about this upcoming season, so get ready.
Yeah, we do. I'm happy to have this because I need this creative outlet like you do that's totally different from the shop and treasure games and anything else I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just like an organic way to, I don't know, just talk with my boy, just to hang out, man.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to get into is I saw recently you posted like a news coverage clip of treasure games.
I did, dude.
So this was the guy that won.
So this couple, right? They won. They found the first ever lamp.
And these were physical lamps.
Physical. Looks like a genie lamp. Okay, it's got a plaque on there. It says Wish Lamps. And they were down. They're from New Mexico, but they were in Texas. And there's a clip. Security camera footage. Of course, as soon as they get there, their phone runs out of juice and they don't have a flashlight. So it's like really dark and you can't quite see them. So they like go and charge their phone and you can just hear the laughter. They're like giddy. Oh my God, I can't believe that we actually found this thing. And they end up choosing the wishes. So you can choose $1 million cash or you can choose 1.2 million in real life wishes. And they had been homeless for a while, I found out. Wow. I'm actually about to interview them. I was going to do it yesterday, but I said, I got a long day. It's going to be bad. Yeah. I need a different day. So one of the cool things they did is that they bought, I think, a motel that they had stayed at when they needed a place to stay for cheap. And they're going to renovate it and use it for the homeless, for the population that needs a place to stay.
That's incredible.
Yeah, dude. It's like just watching the clip, I was like getting goosebumps. Like, man, dude, I'm going to like break down when I interview these people. Then they bought a Sprinter van for them and their dogs. I think they have 4 dogs, these Goldens or these retrievers. So now they have a cool place to like live and they can keep traveling. And I think they did some other stuff. So this was the kind of people that we wanted to win. They were going to pay it forward. They were going to contribute to society, like good people doing good things, paying it forward. And you get the most out of the wishes. You get like double if you take the wishes. You just got to get creative.
Right. Yeah, man. And it's like, it's cool to hear that they're doing something good with those wishes and that, you know, money per se. Because golly, how tempting would it be just to be like, give me the money, I'm out.
Just give me the loot. Like
give me the loot.
I'm going to go travel and just do some dumb stuff with it. And well, that's the trick, right? The wishes, you could do every wish for someone else, but you have to do at least one. So the third wish for someone else or an organization.
An X-nay on wishing for more wishes.
If you've seen Aladdin, come on, you know the rules, same rules, can't wish for infinite money.
And I can't bring people back from the dead. Okay, keep going.
And so that's that. Going to interview them. And then Region 7, the next one is active right now. That's
Okay.
Colorado, Kansas,
That's me.
Oklahoma, and Nebraska. Yeah, so I was actually, I don't know if I reached out to you yet, but I said, hey, I was like, Dirk, we should reach out to JR and see if we can do some press. Like, there's got to be something we can do, even if it's just on your social. But I was like, hit up iHeart and be like, yo, we want JR to do this ad and do this thing. So if y'all are in the Denver area, you might be hearing some Treasure Games hype.
That would be cool, dude. That'd be like the world's just kind of colliding. That would be super cool.
Yeah, because, you were an early part of, like, a lot of those talks. And you kind of had the scoop before a lot of people did.
Had the scoop, baby.
So it's $200K this round. And then July is another 1.2 mil.
Wow.
And then August is another $200K. So we want to have all the regions with all 10 million on the board, or 12 million in wishes. But since it's a startup, and like a lot of people just don't know about it yet.
Yeah. It takes time for something like this to catch on. But I'll tell you, man, like, what really caught my attention was you sharing that broadcast news clip of them playing the game and winning. I'm like, okay, well now, not the world knows, but everybody in that region knows.
You're on notice. Like, you can't avoid it. It was on the nightly news or, you know, whatever. And there was one more guy, Chris, who I'd interviewed. He went to go congratulate the couple, and they gave him like an envelope of cash, I think.
Wow.
So it's like all these, you see those clips on Instagram. Hey, man, I just wanted to see who's going to help me out today, but here's $1,000 cash. Like, it's happening
but this time
in front
it's
of
real.
me. It's
real.
real.
This time it's real.
It's not even like set up. So I'm really fortunate to be a part of that. And like, I always feel kind of guilty being like, somebody pays me to be a host. But then I remember, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, totally.
To make content, and you're putting yourself out there. So I would imagine you probably don't think about this every single day, but there's got to be moments where you realize, oh, they're totally cashing in on my image and likeness.
Yeah.
I just kind of know that's part of the game, so I don't really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're at that point kind of trading not only your services, but your marketability and your talent for pay. That's kind of the deal you strike. And, there's pros and cons to that, because could you completely just bet on yourself? Sure. But it's like, okay, well, this salary is as close to a guarantee as I'm going to get. And I'm very fortunate to have it. And
I have so much autonomy and so much freedom to, hey, create the videos however you want. It's, it's you out there ultimately. So, I'm going to tell you kind of the right things to say and the sandbox to play in, but make it your own, because people, as we know today, that's where content went. Like, don't be all buttoned up and stiff, and give us your personality. That's why we hired you. That's why you're still climbing. Dude, guy came in the store today, said he'd been in radio for like 40 years. I go, oh, yeah, my buddy's in radio. Wow. And I told him the story about how you came from Portland and the Q and Nashville and Denver and iHeart. And I was just realizing, like, somebody like that, who's the guy had a sweet Mercedes, clearly made a bunch of money in radio. He'd probably seen some people, probably knows some people, but we didn't exchange names or anything. But I was looking at him like, okay, like, this guy gets it. It's
cool to me whenever I can converse with people that have worked in my field for like a significant amount of time. Like obviously Rob Steele, who's worked in radio probably as long as I've been alive. And then I meet people even in my own building out here in Denver that have worked in that particular building for 20 years, 30 years, Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I've only been in this industry for 10. And it's a goal of mine to be able to, provide for myself and my future family doing this for that long, So it's really cool to see. And it gives me kind of hope.
And, Steelsy, shout out. That was so cool that you got him to do the intro for the show. So if you guys hear the VO of the intro, that's Rob Steele.
That was a pretty cool surprise, right?
Yeah, I was like, I listened. You're like, yo, check your email. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude. And there was a couple lines I left out, but I had to leave the two grown men who can't get enough of each other.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
And no joke, that was turned around in less than 10 minutes.
That's how you know you got a true friend.
Right. It was just super cool, man. And I was really pumped for him to do that. And yeah, as we continue to, try to revamp the show here and give it that old fresh paint of coat. And yeah.
You always say paint a coat. It's funny.
What's that?
I can't tell if you're doing it on purpose. You're saying paint a coat.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing.
A coat of paint.
Yeah, fresh paint of coat.
Because the first time I was like, does he know he's doing that, or is he just messing with me?
That's an old Jim Ross is you want to go away and you want to learn a new hold, you see, and then you come back and the people they miss you, and you have that fresh paint of coat.
Okay, that's where that's from.
Sorry, that's me doing my best impression of Bruce Pritchard doing Jim Ross.
Because you say that and I go, that's not the saying.
That's
not it.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just
It's backwards.
being silly
But
over here.
now I'm like, okay, he knows he's doing it.
Yeah. Before we began this season, I wrote down a ton of different topics for us to have.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to scour through some of these and gauge the interest.
Open your notes. We'll play a little brainstorm session.
All right. So some of these are ridiculous. And if there's a particular story or a particular thing you want us to talk about based off what you're about to hear, please let us know in the comments. There's the story of myself dumpster diving at the strip club. It was
+1.
Yeah, okay.
+1 for that.
I had a feeling. The next one is funny driving habits I picked up from Dave.
I'm gonna go +1. I'm gonna have a few driving stories from getting you your license.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. The other one is I wanted to ask Dave to tell me 5 sports teams that choke the most.
I'm gonna have to do some homework, but yep, I think yeah.
It would be fun. Who's the all-time slam dunk competition dunker? Is it Don Wilkins, MJ, Kobe, or Vince Carter?
Heated debate.
Yeah, won't get into that now, but just to, down the road. Watching the movie Orgasmo at my 7th grade birthday.
Way too early. We should do an episode of things that we got exposed to way too early on. And I think we turned out okay despite the fact.
No, totally. Yeah, that was a wild one.
I was like, dude, you have this movie? Why do you have this? You're like, it's okay, we're going to watch it.
Yeah, rated NC-17.
I didn't even know that was a rating. I was like,
we were
that
13.
A thing? We were
and then speaking of birthday parties, I got into a fight at one of your birthday parties. I thought it could be a pretty silly story because I don't remember a lot about that.
I remember some. Yeah, okay, we got to do that one.
I DJ'd my crush's wedding. My first ever crush. I DJ'd her wedding. That was weird.
Devastating day, bro.
That was weird. Weird. I tried to remain professional, but that moment where they were like, does anybody see a reason as to these two shouldn't be? I wanted to,
What is left? Dude, at the boombox, don't you dare.
Oh my gosh. And then let's see here. I once wrote a song about my affection for Paris Hilton. I thought that could be a fun thing for us to
remember
dive
that
into.
song. Yep, we should pick it apart. The lines, the lyrics.
Yeah. See which ones kind of hold up, which ones don't. Also, I once did a song with NFL Super Bowl champion wide receiver Brandon Lloyd.
Dude, Learjet Lloyd?
Learjet Lloyd, baby. So there's some pretty fun, interesting things. And again, if any of those stand out to you over the others, let us know in the comments, and maybe we'll tackle them on episode 3 or 4.
Dude, I love that. You're always very prepared. I appreciate that. You bring a lot of good ideas to the show. And I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Well, let us know what you want to hear about, because this is the People's Podcast. I'm the People's DJ. He is the People's Card Dealer. This is Double Play Dave. And let us know what you want us to talk about in the next episode. And for Dave, my name is JR. please remember, it's cool to be you. Peace.
Peace.